Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is Wander to the Edge. My name is Adam Asher from the Edge of Adventure.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Zanne. Zanne,
I'm
where are you from?
Zanne. I'm Zanne. I'm from Where Else Wander, and this is Wander to the Edge.
It
And
is. What is it, though? What really, if you were to boil it down, what is Wander to the Edge?
It's really just friends talking travel. It's you and it's I bringing together sort of the best of each of our platforms and talking with others out there who have social media platforms and learning what they're all about, hearing their stories, learning their purpose, and getting to make new friends.
And we have had some fantastic guests over the last few weeks. And, today is no exceptions. We definitely want to have you guys stick around. It's going to be great to get to know the couple that's going to be on the show today. They have a great platform. They are great travelers. And of course, they also do have a purpose and sort of a calling that we'll get to know a little bit more about today. Just having a good marriage, a good relationship, what it takes to make those things work in a day and age where sometimes they don't. And so it'll be great to have them on the show. And I'm going to let you, Zanne, actually formally introduce them.
So I'm excited to introduce Eat, Live, Stay, which is Jen and Dan Hudson. I had a chance to chat with them on Twitter because Wander to the Edge is on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Check us out there too. But, just their adventures together. And I think it's the togetherness in travel that we want to talk about today, as well as learning a little bit about attending surf school in Costa Rica and some of the other adventures that they've gone on.
It's going to be another great episode right here for your Saturday on
Wander to the Edge. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
All right. So which one is Jen and which one is Dan?
Well, I'm Jen. I think for a second. That's Dan.
And who got who into the travel thing? Or was this something that came from both of you equally?
I think it was kind of mutual. She probably has more of a travel bug than I do.
Certainly the adventurous part of travel would be more me than him, I think. But he's come into it fairly well.
So how long have you guys been married?
We've been married for almost 26 years, so 26 years next month.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's,
I guess from what I can tell, it's going to work out. That's
well, it seems to so far.
Just traveling.
Keep having fun,
And you guys are located home, that is where?
Bradenton, Florida.
Oh, awesome.
That's recent. Like we lived in the DC area for several years.
Yeah, all of our marriage really until this last year, we were in the DC area.
Okay. So what prompted you to move to Florida then?
COVID.
That's not 100% accurate, but it helped. We had been looking to move down here because so much of our travel is to the beach. And so we figured if we moved to Florida, then we wouldn't have to spend so much of our time traveling to the beach. And it's proven true. But being from the DC area, finding jobs down here was a bit of a challenge. So as COVID happened last year, we went full-time remote in our jobs. And we're able to find a way to basically bring them with us a little bit of reconfiguring a little bit of the jobs. But, everybody was working remote, so it got to the point where we could do it from anywhere. So we figured, okay, this is the time. And we on a whim, we came up with this idea. And a month later, we moved down to Florida.
Got it.
What is it that you like about the beach so much?
For me, it's the water.
Yeah, I'm born in July. My birthday was yesterday, so I'm like a water, zodiac.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy
Yeah.
belated. What did you guys do to celebrate?
the road trip.
A long road trip.
So yeah,
visiting family. It was
we,
good.
we drove through like Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania.
And
We
then
just got back the other day.
Okay. And how long did that road trip take you?
We were gone for like 11 days.
11 days.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just taking our time. We spent a lot of time in Savannah. Savannah is amazing. It was my first time in Savannah.
And we spent a lot of time, like during the week last week, with my parents, with family. We just took our jobs with us and worked out of their house for a few days, and then just kept on our way, and then turned around and came back.
Well, I know that both of you guys have full-time jobs, and we don't have to get into the details of that. But I think for everyone who does, and there are many of us who do, who have the travel bug, like to travel, like to get out, like to go places, but at the same time, we got to pay the bills. We're working a job. What, how do you make that happen? How do you guys make time to travel?
You got to make it a priority.
Yeah.
Because, even like you mentioned the surfing stuff early on, and, we always talked about that and, talked about traveling here and there. And, it's like, well, when are we going to do it? It's like, let's do it now. So make it a priority. That's the main secret to that. And and it does take a little bit of a budget because, we don't have like travel related jobs. So, it's fully like, our budget that's covering that. So, doing out some of the little things, maybe cutting back on like going out to eat so much and, this little $5 here, $10 there that you spend on frivolous things, like it adds up quick. And then soon you got like this budget for this nice trip.
We sit down basically at the beginning of the year and sort of think through all of our travel for the next 12 to 15 months and book as much as we can and sort of budget it in. And we actually write it down. We keep it in one of the big planner books. I keep it right on the counter in the kitchen. So it's there, it's in our face, helps us remember, we could go out to eat every single meal over the weekend, or we could remember that we have all these great travel options coming up and better allocate our money. We also don't necessarily have to spend as much time everywhere. So that was a lesson for us too. It would be great to go take 2 to 3 weeks and go everywhere all the time, but sometimes a long weekend will work,
Yeah.
So it's just figuring out how much time we need where, how much we can fit in here and there throughout the year, and then planning the bigger stuff kind of early on.
How does Abraham Lincoln find time to travel?
That was
I
actually
was going to make a time travel joke too. You beat me to it.
Yeah, and that's kind of funny because we're in West Virginia and like we're like looking like in this shop. It's like, that looks like Abraham Lincoln, and he's on a computer.
Right.
And he was like, I don't know how to use this thing. I'm a computer guy. So, of course I had to post a bunch of things up about helping Abraham Lincoln work his computer.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I love what you were just talking about, Jen, about making it a priority, which is so easy to say, but you actually actualized it into having that list, sort of the this or that type of thing. As you look at your budget posted right there, I mean, that's a great way to stay focused and to have that reminder and really stay true to that. That's a great tip. Yeah.
It's working for us so far.
Yeah. So let's
go ahead.
So you also mentioned Costa Rica. Are we ready to talk about Costa Rica, or was there something else you wanted to ask me?
I am always ready to talk about Costa Rica.
I know. I'm going to sit back here as you guys talk Costa Rica because I haven't had a chance to go yet. So.
Yes. So where did you guys go in Costa Rica?
We went to the town of Uvita, Bodhi Surf and Yoga Retreat. We did this a couple of years ago for my 50th birthday. I have a habit of planning really great things for my birthday, and Dan gets the family travel for his. But anyway, I had found this place that I wanted to go to, and we're newer surfers.
Yeah, can we back up to the beginning part
We're not talking
Mexico.
about that. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, let's take it from the beginning.
Okay.
We're on vacation in Mexico, and we've always talked about, hey, we should learn how to surf sometime. That looks so fun. And then we're riding down the road and we see this sign, hey, surf lessons. And it's like, oh, I'm going to call them. I'm going to sign this up right now. And she was kind of like, almost daring me to do it. And then, I was like, kind of nervous too. I was like, well, I'm going to do it. So we scheduled it. And then, it's for like 2 days out or something like that. It's going to be in 2 days. And then we're trying to find all kinds of reasons in the world to not do it. Right. Like, hey, let's go do this. Oh, here's this other thing we should go do. And we finally kind of pushed each other to go take the lesson in Mexico. And it was an awesome time.
It was.
That was Surf 360, in
Cancun.
right in Cancun. The water was beautiful, and unlike skateboarding or snowboarding, the fall is pretty beautiful too.
We did that a lot.
So when you fall off the board, it's a pleasant experience.
And so
Were you guys able to get up and hold your own?
Oh yeah,
a little.
Eventually.
Not. We're still not great.
Yeah.
But this was 2017, so we started really late in life for the whole surfing thing. So we had gone a few more times since then, and then my birthday came around. I said, all right, we're just going to go surf camp in Costa Rica. And I'm a big yoga fan too, so I put the two together with a lot of complaining from him about 2 hours a day.
A lot of yoga every day.
2 hours a day and yoga. Yeah, it was fine. So we went, and actually it was so helpful because when you're only going every 6 months or so to try surfing, you really just never get anywhere. But a whole week of it was great. By the end of that, we were actually staying up a little bit more. And so we're going back. We were supposed to go last year, but of course, nobody got to do what they wanted last year. So we're going back to a different part of Costa Rica, to a different surf camp for a week in December. So we're ready to go give it another try.
What is the homework like at surf school? What kind of homework does the teacher give?
The pop-ups.
Practicing, they really do give a little bit. Practicing the pop-ups, we took just mats into our little room and got down on our stomachs and pretended like we were swimming, and then doing the pop-up so that we could sort of get that muscle memory in place. So we did that a lot. The one that we have already gone to, there's also a lot of theory, starting all the way with what is a wave? How do the waves come in? What are you looking for in a wave? So a lot to kind of think through, and more than just the physical nature of sitting on a board and then trying to stand on it while everything's moving below you.
In Costa Rica, is everything pura vida?
Yes, in my opinion. Absolutely. Best place ever.
I told you, Zanne.
I know. We have to stop.
It really is an awesome
You go to Costa Rica because your eyes just light up, and then
look, I like to travel, but in particular Latin America is a place that I've had the chance to go, and I love that, and I speak the language and all this. But Costa Rica is unique. Every country is, and if you've had the opportunity to go, I think most people who get a chance to go know after they go, they're like, okay, now I get it. Now I see why people like to go so much. And I went to out on the peninsula, a little town called Santa Teresa, and also I think we took 1 day of surf lessons. So I'm sure I am not as good at surfing as you two, but I have an appreciation for how difficult it is.
And you might be, actually.
But it is. No, I'm sure I'm not. I'm sure I'm not. But I don't think you realize how difficult it is until you try, because it's tough.
Yeah. Well,
I got one secret to that, because I wasn't popping up quick enough, and then I'd kind of stay down, and then I'm riding that wave out. Then I pop up, then I fall over, right? But if you pop up quick and you fall off quick, you don't have to paddle so far to get back out again. So the reset is much shorter. So just the secret is pop up just right away. As soon as that wave hits the board, just pop up.
See, and what I heard is, and this is what would apply to me: fall off the board as quick as you can, so you don't have to swim as far to get back.
That
That's
is
pretty close to
Dan's
it.
MO, absolutely out there.
Yeah, I guess it probably depends on where you are, where you are surfing, but where we were for sure, I'm sure this is the case everywhere, but maybe some worse in some places. But you're out there, you're surfing, you're focusing on the waves and on getting this thing right. You wake up after 2 or 3 tries and you're half a mile down the beach.
Yeah.
You're not anywhere near where you left your towel and your flip flop.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a bit of a workout.
It is a workout because anyway, the waves are, I got an appreciation for it. I'm not good, and maybe get a chance one day to try it again, but you do understand how difficult it is and what a workout it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna have you finish this sentence for me, okay? Maybe I should start the sentence. Let me start it first. Couples that travel together
Stay together,
Stay together.
why is that so?
because you got to enjoy your time together. You got to make it a point to spend time with each other doing like fun things.
So I would even take it, couples who travel together because they have to and neither one of them likes what they're doing. No, that doesn't matter. Couples who travel together because they love where they're traveling and what they're doing, stay together. It's any relationship. If you don't enjoy doing things together, you're not going to spend time together. And to stay married, for most people, you do want to spend time together. And, we might be heading right into this, so I might be jumping ahead. But with Eat, Live, Stay, the reason we started doing some of this is because we kept having so many friends tell us they were trying to live vicariously through us because, they didn't think they could do the things that we do. We're not special. We just found things that we like to do and we go do them.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a big difference.
I want to talk more about that, but first I want to ask another element that you guys kind of alluded to in your last story is also compromise. So you talk about doing things that you both like doing, but then there's also times that you have to compromise with the yoga 2 hours a day. Am I right, Dan?
That's right.
He loved it once he did it.
I tried to back out so many days, like by day 4, we're getting up like 6 o'clock in the morning at some ridiculous hour. And she's like, come on, it's yoga time. I'm like, I'm sleeping in. I'm exhausted from yesterday. Come on, you'll feel better after you do it. And I got out there and did it. And you know what? I did feel better.
So what does Jen have to do that's your passion, Dan, that you kind of drag her along?
I've been to Vegas.
Yeah. So, I like going to Vegas. I like to go to the casino and things like that too. So we've been over to the Bellagio. Well, we went to Vegas the first time. We stayed in just like, kind of mid-tier hotel. And it was just like a mid-tier kind of experience. And then it's like, hey, we're going to go back out to Vegas, but this time we're going to go stay at the Bellagio and, check out the shows and, like live it up, like rock stars. And that experience was like different. So I think that kind of changed her experience and how she feels about Vegas.
A little.
What's your game of choice, Dan?
Poker.
Okay.
He does at least always pay for some of our trip that way, so that's always nice.
Yeah. So you're hitting all of Adam's sweet spots. We got surfing, we got travel, we got poker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. I'm going to start traveling with you guys.
All right.
eatlivestay.com. That's the website. Talk to me about where or why you chose those 3 words, eat, live, stay. What does that mean? Where did that come from? And what are we going to find on your website?
Like she talked about before, like we did a lot of local activities too, like, doing things like you saw in some of those pictures. Those are like pictures of like around the lake of where we lived. So going out paddleboarding and things like that. And then we would post those things like on Facebook. And then our friends and family are like, oh, that's so cool. Like you're doing so many things together. And then, that went on. And then it's like, you know what? We're putting all this content on somebody else's platform. We should actually create our own platform. And then from there, it's like, oh, well, we should have like a Twitter account. We should have an Instagram account. So then getting all those things together and then being able to like control the content a little bit better. And that's kind of what kicked off Eat, Live, Stay. But yeah, it's about like a healthy lifestyle. So,
Kind of.
you see like right there in this picture you're showing that, we get out and get some drink on too, but
Yeah, that looks healthy to me. I'm not kidding.
Those are nutritional drinks, right?
they are, yeah. But, like the idea is like, to just eat healthier, like for her, like pushing me to do the yoga at surf camp and things like that. And us surfing. Like we try to find activities that are active, because I'd get bored just going to the gym for what feels like no reason. I got to have like that motivation, like this thing, like, oh, just like we're going surfing, like, in December. Like I know I got to like, tighten up my fitness program to get ready for that. So Eat, Live, Stay is about, we do have some food stuff in there, and we talk about food once in a while, talk about making cocktails, talk about where we stay, and just talk about like living. You live life not just to work, you got to live and have fun.
I have one more question to determine if Dan is, in fact, Adam's true best friend. Bicycling. How do you feel about biking?
Well, we go out
Awesome.
biking occasionally, but that's not a big thing for me.
Sorry, Adam.
I mean, 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here's another sentence to complete. Never too late to.
Try something new.
All right. Talk to me about that. You've got this adventurous spirit. Obviously, that's why you got into the surfing. Why do people shy away from new things? What's the barrier, and what do you have to push past?
Well, so I think for us, our target audience is people our age. We had a lot of friends who were parents of our son's friends. So sort of in that age bracket where kids are growing up and moving out of the house. And we have heard from some of them over the years that the adventurous part of life really isn't there anymore. Like they did that when they were young, and now they're not so young, and you're worried about too many different things that could go wrong versus trying something new. So we were already doing all of these things that we thought were just fun and not crazy adventurous, though people obviously differ in their opinions on that. But we wanted to show that it really is never too late to get out there and do something. I mean, maybe I'm not going to go surf the big waves on the North Shore of Hawaii, but honestly, I wouldn't have 30 years ago either, but I can certainly do the whitewater surfing. And for example, our newest thing, we got certified for scuba diving a couple of weeks ago. We're not going to go do any sort of tech diving or anything like that, but now we can go do at least the recreational diving when we're in places that we might go surfing. There's some good diving down in the Caribbean, obviously, or if I get the chance to go to Australia or the Red Sea in Egypt or anything like that, at least now I can go do that. So our perspective is there's something that you ever wanted to do. If there's no reason not to do it except for you just think that you're past your prime, give it a try.
Yeah, I think the main fear factor is like failing, right? You're going to fail. And I'd say like, getting like, learning how to surf when I'm like over 50, that, like I fell off a lot.
We still fall off.
The main thing is like, it's okay to laugh at yourself,
Have fun.
Yeah, just have fun. Just have fun with it. Like I'm not trying to be an Olympian or anything like that. So I'm not worried about it. There. So, so we spend a lot of time just, trying silly things and then, not doing great and just laughing about it.
Have you guys bought your surfboards yet now that you live by the beach?
We had them in Reston, and we sold everything before we moved down. They were not great ones. We had paddle boards and surfboards. Mm-hmm. We go back and forth on whether or not we want to buy any of that down here because it's so easy to just rent it right now, and then we don't have to load everything up and take it across the state or anything like that, because we can't really surf in our area unless a storm's coming in. And I'm not sure we would go try to surf in a hurricane. I wouldn't rule it out, but I don't think we would.
We did that like bad storm in Virginia Beach.
But it was between storms.
Yeah.
But it's 3 hours to the Atlantic coast, and then we can go surfing over there. But we can rent surfboards over there, which I think would also be fine.
All right. So what are some of the other crazy adventurous activities that you guys like other than surfing? Or are you into like the skydiving, or nothing would surprise me at this point about it?
Yeah.
So my stepdaughter, Dan's daughter, is a skydiver every now and then, or at least she was for a while. And we've talked about it. I don't know that we're going to do that, but I wouldn't rule it out either. We've been talking about what is it, kiteboarding?
Yeah. So the kiteboarding and the kite
surfing, wind sailing, rock climbing, horseback riding, parasailing, which we've done, but we would do it again.
Yeah. You mentioned going to Costa Rica. What are some of the other places that you've had a chance to travel to?
We've been to a lot of the Caribbean. We're big Jamaica fans. Obviously, we've been to Mexico because we talked about that.
Puerto Vallarta.
But we've not been to Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, I love that picture.
There it is.
That's great.
Yeah, that's how I pretty much always look once I stand up. Some of the travel that we've done that isn't really as adventurous is volunteer travel. We've been to Uganda, we've been to Haiti, doing more volunteer work there.
Like mission work.
It's kind of adventurous in its own right, but not the same kind of adventurous. And we certainly would do more of that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's actually my favorite kind.
Yeah.
So
that's right up your alley again.
Yeah.
The edge of adventure.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Dan, I'm gonna have to get your number. So sorry about this. I'm gonna have to give you a call. We're gonna have to hang out. Yeah. So that's great. Some volunteer work in Africa and Uganda in particular. Yeah. I think that's pretty special.
It's I've been 5 times, and we go with a church that we used to go to, and have been working with the same group of kids. They've done it much longer than I have, but I've been at it since 2010. And Dan's been, and we took our son when he was about 14. So it is a special experience, and I haven't been in a couple of years, and don't get to go this year either, but I'm hoping maybe next year I can go back.
Yeah. And I would add to that, people watching this episode, if you're interested in that kind of activity, there's all kinds of resources online that you could look up. Like, when we went to Haiti, that was a mission kind of activity too. And we're searching, we really couldn't find anything. And then we found this like medical team going to Haiti. And it's like, we contacted them. We're like, hey, we're not like medical people, but we're interested. And they're like, we'd love you to come along. So we traveled with a medical team and went to Haiti. And we were there for like several days.
Okay. Have you guys watched The Edge of Adventure?
Yes.
Okay. So you know that this is, again, like synergies. You guys like separated at birth or something.
No, it's pretty special. Yeah.
Yeah. So The Edge of Adventure, for those who haven't seen it, is travel with purpose. And it's Adam going out and working with all these different organizations and through his podcast, either highlighting the work that they do. You just had someone on from Uganda a couple of weeks ago.
I did. I've had a couple throughout the podcast season, and that's different than the video series where I actually go. That I'm working on doing another round of those too. But during the last year and a half, that's been a little more challenging. But the podcast has been awesome in the same way that this has given us, Wander to the Edge has given us an opportunity to connect with travelers from all around, with many of us who weren't able to travel for so long. But through the Edge of Adventure of the podcast, I get that same sense of being able to travel and take people to these locations and talk to people that are on the ground there and who work there. And yes, so Uganda, there was a recent episode just a couple weeks ago about an organization there that runs a hospital and school and takes care of orphans in particular, not exclusively orphans, but it's a children's hospital called Whisper. So there's that. And then there's also an organization that I've had on the show called Hands of Love, and they have an orphanage and a school also there in Kampala. So there is a lot of need. I know it's a beautiful country, but there's a lot of need, and I'm thankful for people like you guys who see that and want to do something about it, and that is always inspiring. So anyway, yeah, that's an awesome thing. I didn't know when we started this interview that you guys did that sort of work, but I think that I have the utmost respect for that.
So when you went to Haiti with the medical team, what did you do?
She was in the operating room most of the time.
They let me observe. It was great.
Really?
And then we were at a mission building,
Yeah.
a compound, you know. So the group of the doctors, they're there like a couple times a year, and it's that one group, but then there's another group that cycles in too.
Right.
So some people like in the community there know like when these doctors are coming in. So there's something like, you know, that one job for the club foot. And
yeah, so the team that we happen to be there with, it is an established mission that's there full time, and they do a bunch of different things, like you said, an orphanage, schools, clinics, all kinds of things. But the team we were with happened to be an orthopedic team, and they go down and fix a lot of the clubbed feet and things like that seems to be fairly common down there. And the only reason that I was in the medical side at all, because we did call and say, look, we're not medical. Is there something else for us to do? And they did have other things that Dan got to do a lot more of. But they needed somebody to sort of check the patients in, and certainly I could do that. And once they were all there, they let me just come right back and kind of see what they were doing, which I was fascinated by, but it's definitely not everybody's thing.
yeah, it's not the Marriott, you know.
No.
So people are expecting like a luxury activity.
No, it's not.
Like our one meal was like the Spam salad.
Not my favorite.
Chunks of Spam cut up with mayonnaise. And
got into a plane out of Port-au-Prince because we were up in the St. Louis section, which is the northwest quarter of Haiti. It's like the poorest section in all of Haiti. So we get on this plane that's got duct tape, like in a lot of places on the outside, holding it together. And the pilot has the window down. He's got his elbow out the window, and he's eating his lunch as we're trying to fly up there. And then we start to land, and we're looking for a landing strip, and there's nothing. There's a dirt road with people and animals all over it. And we're coming down, and the people everybody just moves out of the way, and the plane just lands.
They slowly move out of the way.
A little bit of a crazy experience, but you know, it was good.
Yeah, and I got to go to the village with the doctors too, and you know, like we were trying to find the women with young babies because we wanted to have the doctors take a look at their babies and help give them some medical care. And at first they were very shy about coming around. And then before I knew it, there was like, I don't know, like probably at least 100 babies there. So there's a lot of people that, you know, needed like some attention there. So yeah, that was a really cool experience. But you know, coming back and touching ground in the United States, like I actually kissed the ground when I got off the plane. It's like we are so fortunate. You can't even measure it, you know. So that was a cool experience.
And then when you give in a scenario like that, where you give of your time and your resources and you go and serve in a way, as you pointed out, that's not luxurious, and it's not about your comfort, and it's not about your needs. It's about giving of yourself, taking care of someone else, helping someone else who, you know, that they're just maybe not as fortunate in these ways as many of us have been in life. But when you go and you serve and you give and you care for others in this way, what does that do to you, or how does that affect you?
I think I can speak for both of us. We always get more out of it than I think we ever give. And it's true from a material standpoint. A lot of these places don't have what we have here. But I tell you what, the people, particularly, I can say this particularly about Uganda just because I've been with the same people for so many years. What they do have in how they love one another, it's always a religious trip sort of when we go. So their spiritual side,
Their spirituality is strong.
very strong. Just their compassion, their love, believe it or not, their joy and their willingness to express it anytime. We always are just so incredibly blessed by them, way more than anything we can take over or just I think they enjoy our presence. They're the same, all the kids that I know, but I just can't say enough about how much we get back from them just because of who they are.
Okay, so I'm going to say one more thing.
I was waiting. Go ahead. It's all
So
yours.
one more thing, and then we'll let Zanne get back into the show here. But obviously, we've talked about the Edge of Adventure, and people can go find out more about at theedgeofadventure.com. But I have this other project that I just launched, and it is a mobile app, and it's available in app stores, so it works for Apple and Android, all that. And it's called Rugged Compass. And it is an app, a mobile app that sort of combines social media, podcasting, video, and it is built for people who are drawn to adventure and purpose. And I was already sitting here thinking, making a note, okay, I'm going to send Dan and Jen the link to that. And it's brand new. I really haven't even promoted it yet, there's still aspects of it that I'm still kind of crafting, but I think you would like it. I'm going to send you the link, and I'd be honored if you would, log in there and take a look at it. And it's really meant to just be a place where people who like travel and culture and languages and humanitarian work, where we can all be in a community and share those kinds of things, and then ultimately help each other out in the process. So that's a plug for that app, but it is a genuine invite as well. I would be honored, so I'll send that to you. But everybody watching, you can actually download it right now at you can go to ruggedcompass.com for more info, ruggedcompass.com, or just search for it in the App Store, Rugged Compass. You'll find it, and you can go from there. So anyway, I try to stay busy. I don't want to get bored.
Sounds like it.
Are you done now?
I am done for now. Zanne, take it away.
I'm just teasing because I know that.
Let's do a close-up. Let's do a close-up on Zanne.
No, I don't like the close-ups. You know that. Go away. All right. We've been doing this for over a year now. I still don't like seeing myself on camera. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, you launched the app a couple weeks ago, kind of in beta, and I had a chance to go in, and we've alluded to it on the show before. So, Jen and Dan, you should be almost honored that he's decided to make this big announcement during your episode. So it's all
we do.
Yeah, very exciting, and it is a really cool, not just an app, but an experience to connect with other people. So,
well, now people do that kind of travel.
Yeah, exactly. I do want to focus back on the two of you and what makes both of you so special. And there's so much love that you can kind of tell between the two of you and the way that you interact. I'd love to hear, Jen, I'm going to ask you this question first. What is it about Dan that you love the most?
Oh, let's see. I think it's that he makes me willing to be more open. Like Dan will do just about anything goofy, anytime, anywhere. Like he's willing to just put himself out there. And I grew up very much not like that. So I think the fact that he's kind of brought me a little bit that way would be one of the biggest things. So, plus he's willing to go and do all the adventure stuff, even the yoga. So that's always a good thing too.
All right, your turn, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think, like as far as for, keeping me focused on like, being stronger spiritually and then being a little bit more organized and structured. Like I do have all these, like, I am a little bit more, I guess, weird. And I have all these ideas of like what I want to do and where we should go and things like that. And then she's the organized one, and it keeps me grounded, and then, kind of makes the whole plan come together. So that's the good side. So I think it's kind of like, it's that good opposites attract kind of thing. That's what makes it work.
Mm-hmm. Another theme that I kind of hear is just acceptance of each other, just the way that you are, and helping each other to grow, acceptance of others through travel. And I think that's where a lot of your positivity that radiates through you both kind of comes through. Just an observation.
So other than rafting, what's the other key to a happy marriage?
Well, staying on the raft for first of all, and any metaphor you want to find there.
Yeah.
It really is finding things that you want to do together. We have other friends and family members that are married and don't ever do anything with their spouse. It seems like it's almost a chore when they have to spend time together. And for us, we do separate things. I mean, I run a lot. Dan's never going to go running with me, but he does other things. I'm not going to go play poker, so it works out. But we find enough things that we like to do together, and we make a point of going and doing them together, even if it's, local, a lot of the same movies, or figuring out where we both want to go out to eat or anything, just spending time together on a regular basis, which seems a little crazy as I'm sitting here saying that, because we work together in the house all day. You think we want a little bit more alone time, but we still like to do things together.
Yeah. Well, it's been just so inspiring and so amazing to hear your story and to meet both of you. You guys are awesome. You really are. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, you really are. And we love doing this show. And every episode is different. And here's what we know about every episode. We know it's going to have something to do with travel, because that's the heart of Wander to the Edge. But yet we don't know exactly, as we get to know the person, we don't know exactly where the episode is going to take us. And I would say today and the last few weeks in particular have been very meaningful. And we just thank you for your time, because I know that, like she said, there's a lot of love between the two of you and a lot of love for other people. And that shines through. And that is exactly the kind of thing we need more of in today's world. So thank you much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And on that note, join us again next Saturday, as we'll have more guests to chat with, friends talking travel, and make sure that you check us out and give us a follow and give us a comment. And even if you're watching this now, make sure when you join on Facebook or YouTube or wherever to say hi, so we can say hi back. And anything else, Adam?
No, I think that's it. Yeah. Follow us, please, on the other platforms. Help us out by sharing this out and telling other people and commenting. And anybody that is watching this, you know how social media works. So help us out. We have a great time. And, we're, what are we? We're into the low 60s episodes now. And we are chasing after episode 100. It's just around the corner. So we look forward. If you haven't been on the show, we look forward to interviewing you too. So anyway, all right. With that, I guess it's time to wrap up. Jen and Dan of eatlivestay.com. They've been our guests today. They're awesome. If you watched the show, you already know that's true. If you're just tuning in right now, you need to go back and watch it from the beginning.
And give them a follow as well.
Absolutely. Take us home, Zanne.
All right. And with that, we'll see you again next week right here on Wander to the Edge.